Yo, yo. What's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers. Welcome back to a brand new live stream. You guys already know, man. Like I said, I was gonna hopefully be doing a live stream for you guys today. That is Friday the 13th. So, this is my Friday the 13th live stream. What's up, Brandon Loves the Movies? What's up, man? How's it going? Happy Friday the 13th to you, man. Hope all of you guys have a good one, man. Hope all of you guys have a chill Friday the 13th. Pretty chill day today. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be a little bit busy today. So the live stream, I was trying. My plan was to go live for you guys today. Or tonight, I should say. That was Friday the 13th. But of course, since just another chill day, man. Didn't have much to do, so definitely had to hop on here, and I wanted to watch Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Like I said, I don't have much going on tonight, so definitely that's one thing that is mandatory, especially on a chill Friday the 13th night, and even earlier, man. I even went to the store. I bought myself, because I don't own like a Jason Voorhees. I don't own like a Jason Voorhees shirt, so I went to go buy one, man, just for the heck of it. There you go, man. Look, check it out. So it says Jason Lives. Of course, we got a picture of Jason from the remake. There was this one, man, this one T-shirt, and that's why I specifically went. I was trying to go for this T-shirt. It was like the Part 4 movie poster. But yeah, man. Hope all you guys doing good, man. Shout out Brandon Loves the Movies. Hope you're doing pretty good. Joseph the Horror Guy, what's up, man? Watching, don't tell. Mount the Babysitter starting. Oh, actually, I have not seen that one, man. But yeah, you already know, man. If it's starring Daniel Harris, for sure, man. I'm interested. I might check that out. Have that in my recommendations. Yeah, man. Yeah. Actually, I also you know, actually was just scrolling around through YouTube today. Like not too much going on. Shout out to my good friend Slasher Movies 410. You guys should go definitely check out his video. He did premiere a video, which was pretty cool. He's pretty much showing off his Friday the 13th collection, and I think it's a pretty great video, man. Pretty great video, fitting today's day. So yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate it, Brandon. Yeah, it's a pretty decent shirt, man. Like I said, I just felt like I had to wear one for tonight. I have a lot of tons of horror shirts, but I actually don't own like a Jason one myself. But yeah, man. Hope you guys are having a chill one. I'm actually gonna start play on the film. So yeah, man. You guys could watch along, man. And the reason I chose the final chapter, you guys already know me, man. Part 4 is probably my favorite out of the Friday movies. And usually I always go back to the originals, man. That's for sure. Usually on, because there's been other few other live streams, man, where I do go live on Friday the 13th, and we usually watch part 2. It's always between part 4 and part 2 to me, which one's my favorite out of the series. But those two for sure, man, are they're my two favorite from the series. So yeah, man, we're gonna get it started here. Definitely. I mean, if you guys are watching any movies tonight, I know one of you guys, Joseph the Horror Guy, just gave me a good recommendation. Any of you guys watching any other horror movies? Especially, it's Friday. Most of us typically go to the Friday the 13th films and stuff like that. Of course, more fitting. Where's my water? But yeah, of course, it's more fitting to today's day. And I'm actually thinking, man. Of course, we got flashbacks from the second film. But yeah, I'm thinking of continuing these little Friday movies. You know, I'm gonna be watching a few more. There's like two more. I'm hoping I get to watch tonight. Don't tell the mom. For sure, man. Yeah, I'm actually, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna screenshot it right now because I'm interested. Like, there was a movie, I forgot what's it called, but I saw it not too long ago, and it starred Daniel Harris. So for sure, man. So for sure, yeah. Cause anything starring Daniel Harris is some good stuff. Skull Crusher, what's up, man? Happy Friday the 13th to you, bro. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's an amazing box set by Screen Factory. I actually have the it's actually right here. Give me a second here. I'll show you guys. You guys seen this through the channel? You guys seen through the channel? This is what I'm playing it on. The 12 films of terror. This was of course before Screen Factory and all that. I believe this was like 2013. But yeah, man, I bought this. I actually got this as a gift, you know, back when it came out. I do wish I took care of it more, man, because it does have a few scratches and stuff like that. Still a dope set, man. Still a dope set because of course it's definitely pretty cool owning the Friday on, you know, on Blu-rays. But of course, man, throughout time they have improved, especially Screen Factory. Um, that's one thing for sure, man. Especially me as a collector, I like to have my films. I like to have them like with their separate case, you know. And that's what Screen Factory I think did a great job, man. And the reversible artwork. So yeah, man, I would love to own that set one day. It's a yeah, man, for sure. I'll pop in my yeah, yeah. Actually, even the first film, man, I was actually thinking of popping in the first movie, you know. But yeah, you know, and of course the Friday movies are classics. The first one's a classic. Um, but to me, man, part four and part two were always my favorite. Like the ones that stood out the most out of, you know. And I kind of wanted to ask you guys a question, and this is kind of a question I got from. I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of Dave McRae's question because I know you guys are familiar with Dave McRae. You know, he does discussion videos and stuff like that. You know, I was scrolling through my subscriptions earlier, and he had this. I believe he went like he made a Friday the 13th video, and pretty much his main question was and it seemed interesting, you know, and that's why I'm saying I got this from him, you know, Dave McRae, here to ask you guys, uh, when it comes to the Friday the 13th movies, which one is your guys' favorite, like personal favorite of all time, and not just favorite of all time, but which films do you have, you know, which Friday film do you have like most memorable moments with, you know, the one that has always stuck to you, and there's a few Friday films, man, that I will say have stuck out throughout the years and are really memorable for me, even though some of them are not really, like the Halloween franchise. That's a perfect example. There's a lot of memorable films for me growing up, man. You know, great times, great memories, but the films necessary are not really, you know, the greatest films. But yeah, man. For me, I will say for me, like I said, part four and part two, definitely the two that stand out the most. That's why I kind of consider them my top two. Of course, the original, without a doubt, the original, and one that I wanted, the one that just stuck out from mine, and a lot of you guys might not really like. I wouldn't say believe me, but you guys will probably be like, really, like, do you really have that one in your, really memorable list? And that is going to be Jason Goes to Hell, man, the Final Friday, which is a film I want to get to watching tonight. I know it's it's a pretty crappy film, not the greatest. Don't get me wrong, guys. Jason Goes to Hell. Um, I think the concept wasn't the worst. It definitely, I think it had potential. It could have been something better. And of course, since I say Jason Goes to Hell is a really memorable movie, is because that's one of those that I remember always being like on TV all the time. And something I've always like, Jason Goes to Hell was one of the earlier Friday films I saw. And one thing, man, about that film, of course, since I was little, one thing that always caught my attention, that literally Jason's not in this movie at all. Like, probably like 2 minutes in the beginning and then the ending. And that's one big major disappointment about Jason Goes to Hell, man, is they definitely should have had more Jason on it. The storyline could have been better, but the concept itself, man, I think it would have worked, man. Um, if it was executed a little bit better, not so you could say cheesy, with the doctor eating his heart and stuff like that. I think it would have worked personally. Like oh shit. Oh, good thing I had the lid closed. I'm dropping the water over here. One thing for sure, man, Jason Goes to Hell is one of my guilty pleasures. So yeah, man, for sure. The Halloween Goblin, what's up, man? Happy Friday the 13th to you as well, man. Glad you made it to the chat. Yeah, man, for sure. All of you guys out there, make sure you guys lock your doors, lock yourself in, man, because it's not too safe to be out there, So make sure you guys follow the rules. Okay, which personal favorite? Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, the first four, you could even say the first five, but I know the fifth one kind of you could say it went downhill, but the first four for sure, man, are the best. From the whole series, man, they're just the first four are to me the most memorable ones. So yeah, since part two and the final chapter are my top two favorite. Part three and the original come right behind that, man. So those are my top four Friday films for sure. And right behind that, man, I've always said this. Part five, The New Beginning, and I was actually gonna pop it into um that film. I've always liked it, man. It is a bit memorable, but I don't really remember seeing that one as much as a young, as a young kid. I kind of saw part five a little bit when I was older. But something about it, I know it's kind of like cheesy, your typical stuff, copycat killer, and it's not really Jason, but I don't know, something about that film, I just tend to enjoy it, man. I don't know. Part three and part four are my favorite. Yeah, definitely part three. Part three is actually another, like I said, one of my also. As a matter of fact, part three was one of my very first Friday the 13th movies I owned on DVD. Because I remember getting that as a kid, man. Like right when I was getting into horror. This was probably 2010ish, 2010ish, 11ish. Uh, I ended up buying part three on DVD, and it came with the whole 3D glasses and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely one of the first few Friday films I've owned. So part three for sure. The whole 3D stuff. Not the greatest, but it's definitely memorable, man, and it's definitely It was definitely different at that time, you know. I think Jason looks awesome in. Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably one of my favorite designs of Jason. Actually, is from Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, man, and that's one thing. Brandon loves the movies. That was one thing I was gonna mention too, man. About well, you could say part three and four mostly because those are the ones that are back to back, and you could tell, man. You could definitely tell it's a different director, but it's definitely like I said, it's a back to back film, and you could barely even tell, man. You know, and that's what I've always liked about part three and four, man. They go really good together, like it's a great sequel. Like you got those great sequels out there that are probably just as great as the first film, like Halloween 2, um, you know, part 4, I will say. Um, a lot of great horror sequels, you know, that really uh remind you of that first film, you know. So yeah, I agree with you, man, for sure. It also feels like a two-parter, like a special. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, actually, though I do kind of get also those feelings, man. Like if it was like a TV special kind of thing, um, and yeah, you know, it's always like memorable stuff like that. You know, of course, the Friday movies to me, the Jason character, of course, has always been one of the most up there, one of the more popular horror characters and stuff like that. And you know, the films haven't necessarily been like the greatest. Of course, most of them we all like them, we all love them because we grew up loving the cheesiness. And same here, man. Like I don't really consider like a garbage Friday the 13th movie. Well, let me think about it. Other than Jason X, yeah, like there's a few other films, man, that we consider garbage in other franchises like Halloween, uh Child's Play or whatever. But with Friday, man, you know, the films were always not the greatest, but I don't know, something just about the 80s, man. Um but yeah, Friday the 13th, man, has always been a memorable franchise for me. You know, like I said, I might continue. Um, I'm not sure how long I'll be live, but I'm gonna make sure I kind of continue watching Friday movies, man, tonight because, like I said, there's like two more I want to see. I always wondered why the KMB EFX team went with that look, though. As normally they do fine work. It looks like. Yeah, that's true, man. That is true for sure. Alex Reader, what's up, man? My favorite one is the remake. However, if I had to choose one, yeah, the remake is not too bad. I like the remake. You know, throughout the years, I've grown to like it more. So yeah, and it's definitely one of the better remakes from that era. You know, that little era we had. You know, in the 2000s when they were releasing these horror remakes. Of course, you got a classic death scene right there. But yeah, the remake is for sure one of also one of the earlier Friday films. My third favorite is Part Six. Part Six is a good one. Yeah, I like Part Six. It's definitely up there in my list, man, for sure. And I know after Part Four, like we were saying earlier, like with Part Five, A New Beginning, it kind of went downhill. But you know, the movies still weren't as bad. You know, I know a few of my gripes I had after Part Five. I wasn't, you know, the biggest fan. You know how they made Jason into like this zombie kind of, you know, like of course in the first or in the second, third, and the fourth one, he's just like this regular guy, but of course he gets killed, he gets resurrected, and he's like this zombie monster. But I mean, it's expected. It's expected for it to go there, you know. By the way, oh, that's pretty dope, man. Yeah, I actually I am familiar with that La La Land Records. I guess that's like a little record company that is re-releasing a lot of horror soundtracks. I had a few cuz I do own a few. I had a Child's Play 2 soundtrack. That one was La La Land Records. I think I also had a Halloween 2 1981. But yeah, I am familiar with that, man, and I've seen a lot of cuz quite oftenly I go to like these horror, or not horror, but these used DVD stores. I usually go to find, out of print DVD, DVD, Blu-rays, any horror films, and I've come across horror soundtracks. I've seen a few of the Fridays, man, and yeah, those I've seen many of them. Do go for a pretty big pricey, you know, high amount of money, especially online. But yeah, man, interesting stuff for sure. I don't know. I kind of started getting into that a little bit. Collecting horror soundtracks. Not as much though. Just when I come across them for cheap. Yeah, man, that's interesting. Yeah, and that's it's a nice little nod, you could say, to the horror franchise, and you could definitely that's one thing too about Roy Burns. It kind of reminds you of Michael, and I think it's for that reason, man. That's an awesome little fun fact. What's up, Slasher Movies 410? Happy Friday the 13th, man. Just saw your live premiere on your Friday the 13th collection, man. Awesome stuff, man. Definitely big fan. Yeah, man. I mean, let me know what you're gonna be doing tonight. Like I said, just decided to hop on live, watching part four, man. Don't got much going on, so definitely, man. Had to pop in the part four final chapter. And the reason, like I said earlier, I went with part four because it's probably my favorite. It's always hard for me, man. With the first four films, it's always hard to decide which one's a better or my favorite. Copyright though for playing the film. Hope not. I got CD reissues, but wanna. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, they always, especially with re-releases and stuff like that. That's when they usually add in, the good old bonus songs, bonus features. So yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to. Mad respect to Tom Morga as well as John Hawk standing and opening Jason uncredited. Yeah, man, for sure. For sure, man. A lot of that's something also that's kind of crazy. A lot of guys have played Jason throughout the years, man. Throughout the films, it was never just one actor. Tom Morga was also the shape in half of the first half route and another phrase sometimes during the Really? Oh, I actually did not know that one, man. That he would that Leatherface sometimes in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, I actually did not know that one, man. Yeah, wow, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, man. There's a lot, like, also a lot of people who really don't get credit for certain stuff, especially back in the days. But yeah, man, definitely great stuff. The banana, that death scene right there. Oh, I just passed, but that death scene right there. I wouldn't say one of my favorite kills from the movie, but it's always like stuck to me, man. I don't know, just the effects, like, right, like, I guess her shock reaction. Like, I don't know, man. It's like a little of course the Friday movies especially, they never really aged as well, man, but that's not really the point, of these films, because of course if you watch them today, just like this kill I'm mentioning, it doesn't age too well, but like I said, that's not really the point, now I should say. Sometimes it's Bob Elmore, and sometimes it was Tom Morgan that worked a lot during that time. Oh, interesting, man, interesting. He was on the back of the truck. I forget about that. Tom's done it all. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely Tom Morgan. That's a name I've heard a lot too, man. In the community for sure. Oreo, what's up, man? Happy Friday the 13th to you, man. Glad you made it on here. Plus credited work as Egan San in Ghostbusters and all of Roy Burton. Oh, even the shotgun kill. Oh, really? Yeah, I kind of have heard something in along those lines. With him with Halloween 4. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Halloween. Friday the 13th Part 6, for sure was another dope design of Jason, man. I just really like how he looked in that film. With like that one death scene. It's probably the most iconic death scene in Part 6, when he's with like the soldiers, the army guys, and he like cuts one of the guys' his arm out. Like, I don't know, Jason just like camouflaged through, the forest. Like, I don't know, man. That one has always, and he was like a little bit more chubbier in Part 6. So yeah, that's definitely one that's always I've always liked that one, man. Yeah, and if you guys like are into like the NECA figures, I don't own the Part 6, but since the NECA figures, they come out with a lot of accessories. The character used in the movies. So yeah, the NECA definitely comes with all that great stuff, man. Brandon Kelly Meeker death thing was cool. Yeah, 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 man. And that's one thing too. Brandon loves movies. The Part 6 mask to me, it was always, or is that which one was the one that was too yellowish? Oh no, I think that's Part 8. The Part 6 mask, it does. It looks straight like a dinner plate. I agree. Um, just the shape, it's decent, But like you said, I really like the way he's all decked out. He ain't taking shit, man. You could tell, man, in Part 6. Um, Halloween 4, when George Wilbur takes out the. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Is that like after, like, is that like some behind the scenes footage? Dinner play, yeah. Yeah, man, it really does. And interestingly enough, man, I don't own a Part 6. Something about Part 6, man. Is Part 6 the one with just the one chevron, right? I think. Yeah, I think it is. Uh, yeah, it's different. It's different. That's why I like it. You could say it's different. His Part 3D look scared me the most as a young lad in the late 80s. Yeah, for sure, man. And I think a lot of people's favorite, we all love like the Part 3 look, the Part 4 look, is because that was like, you cuz obviously he wasn't a normal man because he was like deformed or whatever. Um but with the hockey mask, you won't see his face. You could tell it's just a regular guy, man. And yeah, I think that's what makes it more creepier. You know, it definitely stands out more. You know, because like I said, after part six, when he became like this zombie monster type of thing, like you could say Jason kind of obviously he became more powerful. I mean, look at Freddy versus Jason. He definitely became more stronger, like King Kong wise for sure. But I think like the creepiness kind of went away. You know, like he became mostly like a legend than like an icon than like an actual like scary entity or scary you know character or whatever. But yeah, man, for sure. Like little kids, man, probably nowadays they're not really scared of Jason. You know, they probably look at him like I said, an icon, like just a character, Darth Vader or something. You know, but definitely, I could only imagine in the '80s, man, when before Part Six, you know, when the first four films came out. Yeah, man, that would have been pretty creepy. And then once you get to see his face, like, oh shit, that's some creepy shit. I still need a Jason Goes to Hell mask and Uber Jason mask. Yeah, man, for sure. I need a Jason X mask. I've seen a few different ones throughout the market. Um, Probably not in a rush to get it, simply because I wasn't never the biggest fan of the Uber Jason, the whole movie, but it's definitely something I'll consider to have for the collection. Think you enjoyed it tonight. I'm good. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, and actually, that's a great thing to do. Slasher movies. It's a great thing you bring up too, because I saw this. Like I said earlier, I was going through my subscriptions. I forgot the YouTuber, but I guess it's a horror. Like I think his videos. I subscribe to him for movie reviews and stuff like that. It's a channel. It's kind of one of those old channels I don't really watch too much. I used to watch back then, but I still happen to subscribe to him. And I saw like his thumbnail, and um, he was doing the same thing, playing the Friday game for tonight. And like his main question, pretty much, I don't know if it was in the title or if it was in the thumbnail, but his question was like, is it even like worth playing in 2023? And I kind of took that like because I've played the Friday game a few times. It's pretty fun, but of course my brother owns the Friday game, so he's kind of more into it than I am. And he's told me, man, that the game, like you can't really do much with it. Like it's like it's mostly like, of course, I think you could play like online and stuff, um but there's like no story mode or none of that. And I think that would be awesome, man, especially for like Friday the 13th. A lot of films, a lot of sets. I think they could do a dope storyline. I think they could do a dope storyline like with the game. But it's interesting, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, for sure. I haven't played the game in a while, so if I were to go play right now, man, I'll probably have fun for like the next hour, probably next hour or two. um but yeah, that's from what I heard, man. From what my brother has told me, that you can't really do much other than the whole multiplayer thing. But that's great, man. That's great. That's a great thing to do. As long as it's Friday the 13th related, it's all good. You know. But yeah, I actually, as a matter of fact, man, you kind of made me want to play the game now. So I might just mess around and go play later on, at least for a bit. George done good. I wish he would have moved a little faster. H4, but yeah, man, for sure. I've always loved Halloween 4 as well. It has that atmosphere, the cinematography. It feels just like the Halloween season, man. And that Halloween 4 is definitely one of my memorable ones from the Halloween franchise. So yeah, man, that's awesome. Mad respect for Halloween 4. Yeah, I agree, man. The last true great sequel in the Halloween franchise. Yeah, man. I think I mean, and I know a lot of people are kind of against the idea, but I wouldn't mind a direct sequel to Halloween 4. I know they want to jump ahead and make a direct sequel to Halloween 5 and, kind of redo Halloween 6 like how it originally was set to be done. But yeah, man. Yeah, I love part 4, definitely. The Banana Kid was amazing. Tom Savini. Oh, I see. Yeah. Halloween 4 is good and has aged nicely. Still scaring the part. Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I agree. If you watch Halloween 4, man, and you watch any of the Friday movies, you could tell the difference right there. For sure. The 80s campiness. It's just something about the 80s, man. I love it, man. I don't know. I saw the price of the Jason versus Leatherface comic books on Amazon. They're like hundreds of dollars. That's expensive. Oh shit, really? I actually did not. I did not know there was a Jason versus Leatherface. I knew there was and I do own one of them. It's Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, and I think there was a few Michael Myers comic books. But yeah, I actually haven't heard that one, man. Yeah, I was never really the biggest comic guy, so I'm not really sure like how much of the horror ones go for. But yeah, man, I guess they're pretty expensive. Yeah, man, and I'm glad it is. I'm glad Halloween 4 is getting this respect because one I don't know I don't know as of lately, man. One thing I've always kind of kind of tripped me out was and I'm not sure now because like I said I haven't checked in a long time. But I remember years ago, man, a few years ago, Halloween 4 was like in had like a low percentage on Rotten Tomatoes. Now I know according to a few valid sources, Rotten Tomatoes is not really like up to date or authentic. I don't know, but however you want to look at it, man, like Rotten Tomatoes has always had a low score on H4, man, and I've even heard people say uh like when back in 1988 when Halloween 4 came out, it wasn't as successful. Or of course, obviously successful since it was the return of Myers, but it wasn't like a big hit. You could say, and I could be wrong, guys. You guys could correct me. I know some of you guys are a little bit older. Actually lived in that era in the 80s. But what I'm trying to say is like it wasn't like I never understood why it wasn't always as respected. Why if it's always had a low score in Rotten Tomatoes. And like I said, it's probably up by now. I haven't checked in a few years, but yeah, man, that's something I've always kind of seen too. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm glad it's growing a fan base. Halloween 4, even Halloween 3, man, Season of the Witch is growing a fan base throughout time. And that's a movie that a lot of people grew up hating on. It is also believed a year or two ago had a Halloween Horror Nights dedicated to it. Yeah, man, for sure. Actually, I think it was already like 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years they did the Halloween 4 maze at the Horror Nights. It's great, man. It's great. 2 years they did it. It was like the same thing, but I mean, I remember the first year they came out with the Halloween 4 maze. I was excited, man, because I was going at that time, and I was like, "Oh shit, a Halloween 4 maze on this great film!" Like, yeah, it's definitely awesome, man. So it was great. I also plan to play the Friday the 13th. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. It's fun, man. And one thing also, I kind of wish the game had. I wish it had more. I know it has. Look at these effects, man. Special effects. Great stuff, man. Like I said, something about the 80s. Um, One thing I also kind of wish about the Friday game. I know there's like you could play as every Jason from like every movie. But I wish they had the remake and the Freddy versus Jason one. And I believe Jason X, the Jason X one is missing as well. But yeah, man, it's a pretty good game, you know. I think Jason looked coolest in Part Seven with the chains and everything. Oh yeah, man, Part Seven, yeah, that's a pretty deadly Jason right there, man. He was just, to me, Part Seven, he was the most like beast. He was definitely more like probably the biggest, you know, and just the whole chains. I think the chains is what really adds that sinister feeling. I don't know, man, but yeah, Part Seven is definitely always been an awesome design as well. The chubby Jason in paintball sequence being too husky. Oh, really? Actually, something I did not know, man. I mean, we learn something every day. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, since I mentioned that about the chubby Jason, well, you know, you could tell that's one. Well, you could say one of the sequences. You could say that kind of stood out. You know. But yeah, that's one thing I do remember of Part Six though, about Jason a little bit being a little bit more chubby. You know. Part Six, mask is flat as hell. Yeah, man, for real. I think Oh no, never mind. Yeah, but Part Six, I don't know. Something about that one it just makes me want to own it, man. I don't know. Yeah, Part Six has one chevron. Yep. Part Seven with the web barrel looks awesome. Yeah, man, like a straight, just like a straight demon. Yeah, I've always liked the Part Seven. Even the movie itself, man. I know a lot of people make fun of it. You know, Jason versus Carrie with the telekinesis and all that. But hey, it's a memorable film. You could say, you know, it's one of those that you can have fun with. You know, it's different. But yeah, I like Part Seven. Dan Bradley, whom was the chubbier Jason. Oh yeah, yeah. That the paintball fight sequence, probably the most You're talking about the scene where they're in the forest, right? Yeah, that was probably the most memorable one for me, and the memorable scene for me from that movie. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense if they let the stuntman guy go after that. Hollow Goblin. I was playing the Friday the 13th game and got kicked by the host because I was whooping on Jason pretty good. Hey man, I've seen a lot of shit like that happen too. Like when my brother plays it, you know, the few times he plays it, you know, I just be like watching and stuff. You know, people be like on the microphones. You know how people play with the microphones. People be getting mad, man. You know, and just because they're losing or whatever. Like it's hilarious, man. People are literally losing their energy talking crap, like from another state. You know, like it's funny, man. I somewhat miss it when I had my OA, but I was yeah, man. Xbox was pretty good, man. I never had one, but I've always played one as a kid. You know, either my neighbors had one, my kids, my friends had one. But yeah, man. Yeah, slasher movies for sure, man, and that's a lot of great content. That's a lot of great content. A lot of maps. Um, so yeah, interesting, man. I think it could have. It has potential. And same thing with the well, according to my brother, with the Evil Dead game, because he did buy the Evil Dead game as well. That came out I think a year ago. He did buy that as well, and he says same thing on that thing too. Um, and the one I'm looking forward to, man, is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. I'm not sure if it's still coming out. I heard it's coming out this year, but I'm not sure when. But I hope it's not the same thing, man. I really hope it's not. I think the better horror video game that there's been is Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight, that one still has a pretty big fan base, man, till this day. I hate when they do that. They also do that on the. It's annoying. Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of nonsense, man. Little kid shit. Online is the best part of the Friday. Yeah, man. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It's also pretty dope when you play as a like. Let's say you get bored of playing Jason, you could play as characters from the movie. You could play as Shelly, from part three, which is pretty cool, man. It's I love the game. It's interesting. It's a lot of fun playing as the camp counselors and finding hidden objects to help you escape. Yeah, for sure, man. I have a crush on the counselor Vanessa in the game. She's cute. Yeah, man. I think what's her name? Scout Taylor Compton from the remake of Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. She's gonna be voicing one of the characters in the game in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Pretty cool, pretty cool tight connection right there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually saw that from her Instagram. She like posted like a little promotion about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Jason Voorhees is the toughest and most deadliest hockey player who's never played hockey. That's a true one, man. Skull Crusher. That's facts right there. '80s horror is awesome. Definitely, man. I happen to have my favorite horror films of all time from that decade, man. '80s is just amazing, and I think with everything, man, with music, pretty much everything, all types of films. I need to get the Trick or Treat Studios Hammer Masterline collection. Yeah, man, a lot of great stuff they have over there. Christopher Lee's horror icon, definitely, man. You already know. They need to one day make a Scream game with multiple maps. Yeah, man, that'll be dope as hell. A Scream video game, and especially now with the new Scream 6 coming out. That's like a whole new. I feel Scream 6, man, could possibly be the beginning of kind of like how do you say like I feel like maybe after part 6 of the Scream franchise we might see more of Ghostface in the mainstream, like more just Ghostface, mostly everywhere, because now they're taking it to New York, and that is pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. So I definitely hope we get more of Ghostface, man, and a video game that'll be interesting. And I think since the Scream series, the Scream movies is like a teenager kind of slasher film. Like I think that would work even more for a horror video game. Oh hold on, guys. Oh shit. Damn, I think I left the. I don't know. Do you guys You guys still see me on here? I think I left that thing playing too much on the screen because I had a heads up. We detected copyrighted audio. And let me know. Let me know if guys, if I'm still streaming. If you guys could still see me because yeah, I don't know. It says my stream may be temporarily blocked because of the copyright. Yeah, I knew it. Goddamn. Texas Chainsaw Massacre game looks badass. March 31st. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're not too far away from it, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to that. I even heard a Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game. To my charger. There will be 3 killers and 4 victims from what I understand when you play. I'm excited. Oh, interesting, man. Yeah, and you already know how the Texas Chainsaw is, man. Pretty sure you could play as, Chop Chop and all the other, all the other characters, from the film itself. I'm getting it for PS5. Yeah, that's great, man. I want to see more footage of it. I stand by my. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely will be interesting. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2011, back when Scream 4 came out, the promotion, the marketing was pretty damn good, man. That they even came out with a like a little video game, or not, like a little mobile game, because in 2011, that was when iPhone was new, all the Apple iPhones. And they came out with this app, this game of Scream. It was based off the Scream 4 game, and I got to play it for a bit, man. It was just like a little promotion thing, like around the time the movie was coming out. And yeah, it was pretty cool. That's the closest I think we got to a Scream video game. But yeah, man, that'll be dope. They intended on making more variations of Jason in the Friday game, but yeah, man. Yeah, I actually heard something along those lines because I believe, I don't know if this was like a fake thing, but I remember a while ago, man, my brother was telling me about it, and I even saw it for myself. I saw it like on a YouTube video. People were getting the Jason, like some people, like I guess they were already working on it. They were already working on coming out with the new with the Jason X skin or whatever, so you could play as the Uber Jason. You know, some people actually, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it was real or fake, but some people actually got it. And after that, I don't know what happened. It just disappeared, and I think it was for that simple reason, man. The whole lawsuit, because now that you bring it up, yeah, the lawsuit was going on at that time. So that was when it wasn't really settled. Like that was around the time where we really had no word on Friday the 13th other than the game. This was before they announced the Peacock series and all that. But yeah, man, it would have been cool though. It would have been cool if we got more variations of Jason. The dang lawsuit screwed everything up. Yeah, man, for sure. I even heard about a new remake that was supposed to come out back in like 2015, couple years ago, and a lot of stuff just crumbled, man. It went straight downhill because of the lawsuit. Just imagine all the stuff we could have gotten, man. If it wasn't for the damn lawsuit. Potential was there. Also, actors could do motion capture and lend their voices for a paycheck. Yeah, man, that's interesting. Like I said, I saw Scout Taylor Compton. She's doing it for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. And yeah, that'll be interesting if they get some of the OG actors, You know, since they have their character in there, they should definitely come back and do their voice. You know, for a nice check. That'll be pretty cool, man. I see you. Okay, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, guys, because yeah, it still says on my screen that my thing might be temporarily blocked. Yeah, simply because I was showing the film for too long. But I hope that goes away. Victor Miller, there was gonna be more maps too. I believe they didn't get to do Jason X or Manhattan. Yeah, man, that's those would have been dope. Especially Manhattan, man. Like I said, Times Square, New York, City of Dreams, you know? That would have been awesome. And then Jason X on top of that. Ooh. Yeah, man. It has a lot of potential. And I hope they still I'm not sure if they will still bounce back into it. Like, I'm not sure how big. I mean, I think the Friday the 13th game should still have a pretty big fan base, you know. But man, if it does, they should definitely, now that the lawsuit is settled and all that, they should definitely come back, man, because that's money to be made, you know. Victor Miller was just looking for. Yeah, man, I do agree. I know some. I know the whole rights to Friday the Friday the 13th don't exactly like. How was it? I don't really remember, but I believe something along the lines like the rights. They're not usually. They're not fully owned by someone. I believe they're like someone owns Friday the 13th, and then someone else owns the Jason character. Something along those lines, man. But yeah, the whole thing was just, I think, and just like Brandon Loves the Movie said, I think it was just for a belated payday, man. And I think that's what people usually do, man. They usually take a seat back, you know, to get their business right. And I think that's what it was, man. Because yeah, and just for the fact that it took, how long did it take? A few years, huh? The lawsuit. Like, yeah, man. I don't know. Friday the 13th game is the game that could have been even more better. Yeah, man. The PC version, yeah. Yeah, cause yeah, I think they also they have it for PC, right? Yeah, yeah, it's solid trip because yeah, man, that's true. That's true. I do agree with that one. Yeah, like I said, he's probably just looking for a fat check, but I mean there's like you said, there's other fathers that go to that, man. There's other splits that go to that, you know, and sometimes people's greed and ego just let the best get out of them, you know. And I don't think, especially with cases like these, I don't think that's necessarily the case, man. I don't think it should be handled that way, as a Carrie ripoff. Damn, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, an uncredited screenwriter. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff was going on back in the days. I'm excited for the Texas Chainsaw game. I hope it isn't glitchy as. Yeah, man. Yeah, I really hope. I'm looking forward to that one. And like I said, since the Texas Chainsaw, you could. It's more. I wouldn't say more playable, but of course you got more than one killer, so that'll be some interesting stuff right there, man. They should really make a Halloween game too. Yeah, for sure. I've actually heard rumors about that one, man. I heard it was supposed to come out back when the Blumhouse one came out, the Blumhouse 2018 movie, but I think it was canceled. I'm not really sure, man. But yeah, it'll be dope. It'll be dope, man. If a lot of these horror characters, a lot of these horror franchises get their own game, man. You know, I just think they'll take the horror genre, the slasher genre to the next level. You know. But yeah, man, a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good potential stuff that I think people should really put their mind into. Really, get their business together and really try to make something happen. You know, especially for the fans. Yeah, man. Yeah, the whole New Line Cinema, Warner Bros, Paramount Pictures. Yeah, it's all splitted, man. It's all splitted. So, and I believe New Line Cinema. I don't. I think they own. I'm not sure. I think they own. From Jason Goes to Hell till present, if I'm not mistaken. And I think before Jason Goes to Hell, because pretty much the main reason why, from what I heard, from what I read in the past, Paramount Pictures sold the rights to New Line Cinema simply to make the Freddy versus Jason film. You know, that's a film they've been working on, I believe, since the 80s, since the 90s. Um, and, you know, they finally made it happen. And there was a lot of disagreements, a lot of stuff that was preventing it from happening. And that's one of the main things that was going on, man, is they didn't like the split. The split is, they couldn't agree on one condition. They couldn't come to an agreement. So I guess that's when they owned. But no, I don't think Paramount sold the rights. I think they just sold the rights to the Jason character. I don't think it was the whole Friday series. But yeah, they pretty much wanted to have both characters in the same company. New Line Cinema, which is Freddy, of course. They wanted to have the character over there so they can make their movie, Freddy versus Jason. And then so that's when, you know, that's what kind of explains the whole ending of Jason Goes to Hell, you know, when Freddy's glove comes out, you know. Sadly, there won't be any updates to the Friday game, even though the lawsuit is over. Oh, I see. Yeah, man. Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, it's sad. It sucks because that's something with a lot of potential. And like I said, I do agree with them because at the end of the day, they got to move on to bigger projects. You know, because what if they spend their time, they're investing on this game that has already been established, just for trying to update it? That's they could lose a lot of money there, man. So yeah, it's understandable for sure. A Halloween game with different scores. Whew, oh my god, man, tell me about it. I would love that. I would love to see that. That would be the best game in the world. You know, we get to go to the Myers house. We have, you know, the hospital map from Halloween 2. We have the Halloween 4 setting. Yeah, man, all this awesome shit. Fuck it. Include the Rob Zombie movies. Include the Blumhouse movies. Fuck it, man. Let's get let's get like we could play as a young Laurie from 1978 and let's play as a elder Laurie from 2018. That'll be awesome, man. Let's play as Rob Zombie's Tyler Maine's Michael Myers. That'll be the baddest game in the world, man. I just wish, man. I just wish. And like I said, all these possibilities, all these potentials are possible, man. Just give it at least a few more years, man. Once horror kind of goes more into the front light in the mainstream and stuff like that, and you could say it kind of is already, but just a little bit more, man. Just a little bit more, and we will be having a lot of this stuff in the future, man. And I really hope I get to see it, man. I really hope it really is the case. Have all the Myers from 78 to 2022, man. Yeah, hell yeah. Halloween Goblin, for sure. Chippy, what's up, man? What's up? Happy Friday the 13th to you, man. Chippy, glad you made it on here. Barely noticed it was the day. Yeah, man, I didn't know it was Friday. I never noticed it's Friday the 13th, but this year I did. I actually knew since earlier in the week. But usually, man, I don't remember. I don't notice till the exact day. Yeah, oh hell yeah, man. Donald Pleasance, you could play as Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis. You know, yeah, man, a lot of missions, a lot of good storylines, concepts for a game I think could work. Also, rest in peace to Ron Kurtz. He did uncredited rewrites on part one from 1980 when they shot in 1979, and he also wrote the first sequel that came out in March of 1981. Yeah, man, for sure. Rest in peace, Ron Kurtz. Yeah, I've heard that name around. You know, yeah, a lot of people get forgotten, and that's one thing too, man, about the community. I think we should definitely pay the respect where it needs to be due. Of course, a lot of people uncredited for their rewrites. So for sure, man. That's why I think we should definitely use this platform, man, to just keep the horror community, the horror genre, everything, man, our whole like it's like horror is a lifestyle. That's one thing I saw one time. It was like a photo. It's not a genre. It's a lifestyle, and I think we should definitely keep it alive, man. Especially us. We have this little a little platform. Not might not be much, but at least a little something, right? That she throws them out on the freaking car. The thing is that if they're going to make these horror games like Jason, which fell off a couple years ago. Yeah, man. Yeah, back to what I was saying. I feel once horror gets to a higher level, like in mainstream, people once it's a little bit more successful, kind of like obviously not necessarily like a Marvel status because I don't think it will reach there, but at least enough for it could be taken serious. And yeah, you could say the Jason game it kind of fell off, you know. But and yeah, that's one of also the main reasons a lot of games uh end up getting canceled because it's or you could also look at it at this way, man. Probably horror movie games aren't meant to be, because we had, I mean, Friday the 13th, like I said, was probably the first one, and it kind of did, it fell off, so I don't think people would want to invest their money necessary on that, especially if it's a risk, especially if it's not as successful as the Friday game was, So yeah, man, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Here you could be the shape and control your breathing and chase after legacy characters or be a legacy character like, yeah, hell yeah, man. That'll be dope. Playing as a young Jamie Lloyd. Yeah, man, for sure. That'll be dope. All these ideas sound dope, man, for sure. It's something I would love to see in the future. I wish when you play as the killer in there, it isn't in first person. I think there is first person. First person is like Call of Duty, right? Like when you don't see the when it's just like the hands, right? That's what first person means, right? I remember playing as Michael first person. I agree. I don't blame them for moving on as long as they have other projects. We gotta respect that, yeah. And I guess from what it looks like as of now, um, their main project right now is the Peacock prequel, which I hope it does good, man. I hope it's some shit. Yo, yo, what's up, Machete Slasher, man? Happy Friday the 13th to you, man. Glad you made it on here, man. Definitely, man. Just here chilling, watching Friday the 13th Part 4, man. Nothing much going on. Uh, I mean, let me know, Machete Slasher, what you up to tonight? How's your Friday the 13th going? Um, if you're watching any Friday movies, which one are you? Which one are you watching? I don't care for the first person view in DVD. Yeah, so first person view is like Call of Duty, right? When it's just the hands and the weapon showing, right? Or is it when you see the character walking, the character you're playing walking? You could see the character you're playing as. I believe there's both versions, right? I think you could play as both, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, man, so I'm not really sure, but I do remember it being two. You could play as both types. Thoughts? It's dope, man. Machete Slasher, it's dope, man. I made a live stream about it yesterday, actually. Yeah, I mean, I usually just talked about the highlights for me, which is the what's it called, the Rob Zombie masks, which definitely a must have. Um, the Rob Zombie masks, and another dope thing, they're they're bringing back the Leatherface masks, man. Which I might get the part two. I'm thinking of getting the part two. Uh, and I believe they're re-releasing the Texas Chainsaw 3D masks and all that. But another one of my main highlights, right behind the Rob Zombie Myers masks, are the Exorcist Reagan mask, man. I think that one is gonna be. I hope Trigger Tree Studios really knocks it off the ballpark with that one. With the final product. Shout out Slasher Movies 410. He actually did send me some pictures on Instagram of like close shots of the mask itself. I'm not sure if it's the final product, but man, it looks dope. It looks really dope, and that's another one I think is a must have. Especially coming from the one that we had, which was Morbid Enterprises, which is the one I own. Yeah, it's a big improvement, man. So yeah, definitely the Rob Zombie masks, and right behind that, the Exorcist Reagan mask. This is a classic scene, man. I love this one. Yeah, that one's always been memorable. This one, I always remember seeing this death scene on TV. Yeah, that'll be dope. Some maps for from the Rob Zombie films. Imagine the whole White Horse scenario. All that weird shit that was going on in part two. When they're in hell, you see young Michael and then his mom. Interesting stuff, man. That'll be some shit right there. Yeah, they do. Yeah, Trick or Treat Studio has a lot of dope shit coming out, man. And I'm surprised. I'm definitely surprised. I can't wait. Starting to get good, man. Yeah, for sure. Brandon loves the movies. I think those are must-haves, man. The Rob Zombie ones. Got little boy Tommy. But yeah, man, those are ones that are for sure. I'm getting. I don't think I might. I'm probably won't be getting the. Oh, excuse me. I probably won't be getting the clean 92 killer mask or murder mask, whatever the hell they're calling it. The clean mask from the beginning of the Rob Zombie movie. I won't be getting that one, but the ones I will be getting for sure is the regular first first one, and I will be getting the the both of them from Halloween 2, the ripped one and the dream sequence one, and I will also be getting the Bowie knife for the Hobo Myers, man, because that's a cosplay I will be putting together. As you guys know, I that's a cosplay I made one time, in the past. Obvious, of course, not accurate at all, just cheap, just budget wise, But yeah, that's one that I do want to improve, man, and update. So yeah, man, be looking forward to that, man. Once they release those masks, I will be doing costume tests to those. When I play as the killer in Dead by Daylight, I get so dizzy. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Dead by Daylight, I think is like I said, I think the most successful one, the more playable, the most interesting one. Yeah, it is complicated at times, man. It's just like, woo, I could see it. I could see it. Like I haven't played it like so much, like so deep into it, where it has got me dizzy, but it has me to the point, man, where it has me like not desperate, but like just moving everywhere. Like I don't know. It's funny. Yeah, man. Brandon loves the movies. I believe this little Blu-ray set that I have comes with this Crystal Lake Memories book. I'm not sure if it's the full book, but yeah, it's a little booklet, man, and I have read this throughout time. And yeah, I'm not sure if, like I said, I'm not sure if it's like the full book, but yeah, man, a lot of great stuff. The Halloween franchise book is amazing. Some serious shade thrown in that as well about people and how they feel. Rare drama finally told, Oh wow, really, man? That I want to look into that, man. The Halloween franchise book. That seems interesting, man. I'm actually so I just gotta look it up in that name, right? Halloween franchise book. Yeah, those are always great, man. Like this one here. I'll give you guys. Let me give you guys some light. So I have this. This is like a little booklet that came with a little booklet that came with the what's it called? With the Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection I have. Here it is. This is the complete history of Friday the 13th Crystal Lake Memories. I'm not sure if it's this one. I don't know if there's like a full version. Here, I'll show you guys the inside. Just it has all types of good behind the scenes pictures. You got Kane Hodder right there. Or not Kane Hodder, what's his name? The one that played him in Freddy versus Jason. Yeah, man, good stuff in here. Yeah, Skull Crusher, I agree, man. Freddy vs. Jason probably does have the worst dialogue, first acting, but it's still a pretty. It's a classic film, man. I mean, I grew up loving Freddy vs. Jason, and compared to the other Friday movies, man, Freddy vs. Jason is kind of low on my list as a Friday movie. Definitely all day, man. There's no doubt about that one. Kane Hodder was meant to be in Freddy versus Jason. I don't understand it, man. They wanted a freaking Frankenstein as Jason, man, which I don't think it's Jason. I don't think it's Jason at all. Don't get me wrong, man. The guy who played as Jason wasn't the worst, but I don't know, man. He just reminded me too much of Frankenstein. But yeah, Kane Hodder was meant to be for Freddy versus Jason. I wonder if the new prequel Friday the 13th series will focus on. Uh, Slasher movies, that would be pretty interesting, man. If they kind of did it like Bates Motel style. That one was pretty good, man. I saw a little bit of it, and I liked the style. It was kind of successful. I think it would work. It would work. I think it could possibly work like that. And I really do hope with the new prequel series we're getting, I really hope it's they balance it out good. You know, we get like I know a lot of people are not really like digging the fact that it's gonna be a prequel. Of course, we're gonna have more of Pamela, but I'm interested, man. Like it doesn't necessarily have to have Jason. Obviously, it's gonna have Jason because Jason is what carries the franchise. So without a doubt, one way or another, man, they're gonna have some Jason in there. But yeah, man, I hope they do some good stuff with it because I'm looking forward to it. I think it should definitely be something good and worth it. For all this time we've been waiting, all this time of the lawsuit, yeah, man, they got to do something great. It had a new metal soundtrack, but it was fun. Tits and stage blood. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Freddy versus Jason. I love that film, man. Like I said, it had a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, man, it's a film that I mean, that's how I started liking horror. Freddy versus Jason, you know. So it's definitely one of my earlier films, man. One of my more memorable films, and the soundtrack itself, man. I'm actually trying to come across a copy of the soundtrack for Freddy versus Jason. I'm not the big. I mean, I grew up listening to rock music, you know, to new metal and stuff like that, and my favorite stuff from that genre is always from that time, man. Especially from the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. That soundtrack right there is what made me grow kind of like my rock interest, you know. But yeah, man, Freddy vs. Jason, always memorable movie. Always gotta love that movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. I love it. With the Killer Clowns game coming out this year, I have a feeling it's gonna be like Friday the 13th type of game with the Killer Clown cast. Yeah, man, I hope they bring it up, man. Especially with the Killer Clowns one and the Leatherface one. I hope they step their game up, you know. When you see the character, it's third person. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, because I remember I think they do have that one. Third person where you could see as the character. Tommy, I know it's not a good movie on a traditional level, and it is also overly explains the plot every second minute screen time way too damn much, but it's a fun film, yeah, for sure, without a doubt. When you just see the hands, I love it in Halo, but DBD I hate it. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, man. I be playing in different ways. From what I remember playing it third person, and then I remember playing it like just with the hands. But yeah, I guess it is a little bit more complicated like that. First person is when you can see your hands, and third person is when you can see the whole body. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. Trick or Treat Studios Rob Zombie Halloween line is badass. Yeah, man. Awesome shit. Awesome shit, man. It would be pretty dope, man, if they came out with, because I know they came out with the clown mask from the original movie. It would be dope if they came out with a clown mask from the remake. That would be some dope shit. I'll pick that one up for sure. Because I do own one. I believe it's Morbid Enterprises, but the shaping of it, the sizing is just too big, you know? But if they were to make one that is accurate to the size of the one from the movie, I'll get it for sure. Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. Halloween Goblin. Hey, some masks, some Jason Masks Trick or Treat Studios. Whew, they'll definitely knock it off the ballpark, man. You know, not just with the hockey masks, but with the hood masks underneath. Dope shit, man. Hey, man, they should go for it. Oh yeah, that map, Chippy, that one would be pretty cool, man. H2O, you know, the whole school scenario with Jamie Lee Curtis's son. That'll be pretty cool, man. Yeah, Halloween has a lot of dope maps. You know, the hospital from part 6, part 2, the dream sequence from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. A lot of great potential, man. So I really hope a lot of this ends up being the case, man. I think I'll watch part 8 or 7 later. That's dope, man. Yeah, actually, I was thinking of watching part 8 too. Like I said, I want to at least watch maybe 2 more. I want to watch part 8 and Jason Goes to Hell for some reason. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, NECA actually has been the only one who like released Jason Mask with the license. And you know, I like them. I like them. It's just that I think Trick or Treat Studios could be a little bit more fitting for it because what's it called because Trick or Treat Studios makes their masks more wearable, you know, and the NECA ones, they're awesome, you know, detail wise and stuff. But those are a little bit fragile, man. I have history with those breaking, so yeah, man. Those aren't as memorable. Like you can't really use those for like a cosplay or like a costume, man. Those are mostly like to collect, you know, collectible wise. So I think Trick or Treat Studios will do. I think that it's more fitting for them to do it, to do the Friday masks, you know, since their stuff is a little bit more wearable. So far, NECA has only. Oh yeah, yeah, I read that one. H2O map would be sick. Yeah, man, it's a great idea. H2O map is great. Yeah, for sure, man. That one would be dope. Chippy, yup, yup. It I don't like the on-screen mask using H2O or this cast, but the setting was fine. I like the school rooms would have to be expanded though. Yeah, man, for sure. The mask H2O, I do have a few issues with it. Not the greatest fan of the cast or the mask, but the setting is cool. You know, the whole school scenario, the whole concept wasn't too bad. You know. This scene, the ending has always stuck out to me, man. Probably because you know the way just they remove his mask. 21 Myers mask. Damn, that's interesting. That's an interesting count, man. 21 Myers masks. If they did the H2O map, I think they would fix the mask or not put the CGI one or alien. Yeah, man, true. If they're gonna do this, man, they might as well fix their whole mask deal in H2O, man, because they got CGI masks in there. They got masks that look like alien. Like this is their chance to fix it up. That's funny. Woo, they got him. They got him. I have a part 4 mask, man, by NECA. But the thing is, I don't know. It's too on the yellow side. I don't know what it is. It's one of the earlier releases of NECA, because I got that mask back in like 2014. So yeah, it's too yellowish. But if Oh yeah, a Demon Freddy mask will be awesome, man. Oh hell yeah, that'll be sick. I think they'll knock it off the ballpark, man. Like they've been doing a good job with the ones they came out. You know, the part one, part two, and the part four. You know, so yeah, definitely. Hey, I would even love to. I would like to see a Trick or Treat Studios mask from the Nightmare remake. I know the whole design is shitty, but I think they'll do a pretty good job with it. Tell Jason it's called the book. Taking shape, developing Halloween from script to screen paperback, October 18, 2019. Yeah, I'll probably check it out, man. Here, I'll take a screenshot of that real quick. Yeah, man. Yeah, Bates Motel, it was a pretty good show. I don't think I saw all of it, but I remember a lot of people saying they liked it, man, and I guess it was pretty good, you know? Especially to be connected to a classic series, a classic movie like that. For sure, man. Oh hell yeah, man, for sure. Actually, you know what? I ordered it. I ordered the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack like a while ago on CD. But man, and this rarely happens to me. It's really rare that I don't get a package. Like it's probably only happened to me 3 times. Or twice. Once and then the second time was with the CD. I ordered 2 CDs on eBay and one of them was Freddy vs. Jason. Hey man, I never got it. You know, I tracked the package. It was delivered, man. Who the hell knows what the hell happened? You know, but good thing I did get a refund. But yeah, man, I gotta have that. I finally gotta have that Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. You're talking about the Demon Freddy sequence. You know when I guess that's Laurie's nightmare. You know. But yeah, Trick or Treat Studios will a mask demon Freddy mask. Trick or Treat Studios will be awesome. Definitely, I'll buy that, man. That's something I'll buy. I believe I don't know if it was Ruby's, but one other company did come out with a Demon Freddy mask. I believe it was Ruby's. But of course, man, there's no other than Trick or Treat Studios who would do that would do a great job like them, you know? That would do a great job like Todd. So definitely I think Todd's is the better fitting for that one. Just finished up part four right now. Probably will be popping in part five, man. I don't even know. But yeah, I will be continuing. I will be continuing with hopefully with these Friday films. I don't know, man. It's Friday the 13th. It's pretty chill. The soundtrack introduced me to some new metal bands I still like. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff like there's a few bands in that CD that I love their shit, man. Not Slipknot. Did Slipknot have a song in there? I don't remember, man. But Seether. I like Seether. Um, who else was on that? Seven Dust was on that. I like Seven Dust. Was Stained? No, I don't think Stained was on it. But a lot of good shit, man. Stained is one of my favorite. I own their CD. I don't have it's in my car. I don't have it here, but I recommend you guys some Stained. There I forgot what the album's called, but the album is like a clown. That's my favorite Stained album of all time. Ted White hated Corey. Ted White, yeah, man. He passed away now. Is he the one who passed away not too long ago? like a few months ago, Ted White, who played Jason in, what was it, part 4? Part 3 and part 4, if I'm not mistaken. The last truly scary Jason, and also his life and career. Yeah, man. Oh, he has a book on his life. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably check that out. So yeah, I believe Ted White, he's the one who recently passed away, right? Not too long ago. Who played him in part 4, right? And part 3. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong, man. You know, I'm always wrong sometimes too. But yeah, man, I had to. I did not own a Jason shirt. I had to go buy one, man, at my local store. Says Jason Lives, of course, part 6 title, but got a picture of the remake. Um, but yeah, man, for sure, man. Rest in peace, Ted White. If it is the part 4, man, I got it. Yeah, that's the last scary Jason, man. And yeah, the best Jason. I agree. Halloween Goblin for sure. It would be tough for Tots to get the rights to the young Myers climate because the producers of the movie had to get the rights for it from. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Slash movies. You're right because I remember seeing like the documentary or the behind the scenes, whatever it was, whatever behind the scenes came with the remake. You know, like on their special features or whatever. And I believe that mask from the clown mask they used in Young Myers in the remake, that was like literally a mask they found like on eBay, like online. Um, of course it was a licensed produced mask already, but it fitted, and they went with it. So yeah, it does make sense, man, for sure. I mean, yeah, it definitely would make sense that it will be pretty tough for them, so they probably won't even go there. But yeah, that would be pretty cool, man. Cause I own this one. I'm pretty sure this is the one I've been owning for years now. Is the that one right there? But of course, that one, the sizing on it is a little too. It's a little too big. The one in the movie was a little bit more smaller, and that's an update for you guys. Horror room, update. So yeah, I'm still working on it, man. Still trying to put together some stuff. But yeah, man, that's something to look forward to, man. Is my horror collection update. I was gonna try to do it sometime in October, man, but just time was going on so fast. Everyone needs to read Cast a Giant Shadow, Hollywood movie, create Ted White and the Evolution of American. For sure, man. Yeah, I'm screenshotting all these things you guys are recommending me, man, because especially when it comes to that type of stuff, like behind the scene type of stuff, and books. I'm trying to get into books and novels. So yeah, man. He had 2 books written about him. His son, Michael, wrote his first note. Ted's real name was Alex Bayot. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to check it out, man, because Ted White, yeah, he was probably the best Jason. And I don't really know too much about his, life like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna read into it, man. I do know he was a stuntman, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah, man. That'll be dope as hell, man. Halloween Goblin, a part 4 mask with the face. Yeah, man. That would be awesome. Like I see these busts. I think they're called busts, right? Like these pieces, bust. They even have like a little bit of the costume. The like in part 3 or part 4, he had like the green work shirt, like those types of busts I seen, man. These artists do a freaking awesome job, man, with that. You're teaching me stuff about Ted. Yeah, man. Brandon loves the movies, and this is the type of stuff I like to see, man. And there's a lot of stuff apologize. There's a lot of stuff you guys be bringing to my attention that I didn't know. We're learning stuff every day, man. And thanks to I see Brandon loves the movies. You're definitely a fanatic, man, just like a lot of us are. And I see you have your information on lock, man, and that's awesome, man. So I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure all of us appreciate getting some knowledge, on this I watch slashers and thrillers and Galayo films on cable and VHS. I'm turning 40 this month. Oh, okay, so I'm getting up on there. Yeah, man, it's awesome, man. I like it. Awesome stuff, man. I'll be 40 next year. Oh, we got another Halloween Goblin. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. You know, we all got to keep it moving. But yeah, man, it's interesting enough that I got some older cats on here, man. So some OGs, man. Appreciate it. Corey Field, man, did a great job as Tommy Jarvis. It's a shame he didn't have much to do in the beginning of part 5. Yeah, man, for sure. Uh, yeah, and I think they should have had more of Tommy, I think. And I think they did. He did come back in part 6, but I don't think it was the same. I don't think it was Corey, right? I don't think it was the same actor as part 4. I could be mistaken though, but yeah, they did bring the character back in part 6. I've been into horror since 12. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I've been into horror since a young age too, man, as far as I can remember. Yeah, man. Very believable. Yeah, and just part 4, man. The whole Tommy character, he did a good job, man, and it's believable. His first book on Ted's life is written by his son Michael Beals. Oh, okay, okay. True Stories from the Sun from 2014. Yeah, man. I will be checking them. I'm gonna see what I can come across with that. Cause yeah, it seems interesting, man. Um, the latest book on him from 2019 is the best. Off topic, but I'm worried for the Exorcist sequel by David Gordon Green. I'm worried it's gonna be too comical to that line out in the Blair. No thanks, yeah, man. I just think that was a horrible idea since the beginning, man. Um, Blumhouse Exorcist. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't even know if Linda Blair's gonna be in it. I hope she is, man. I really hope she is, man. If it's not, I know they have Ellen Bernstein back in it, but if it's not Linda Blair, man, come on. But yeah, man, Joey truly lived a full life. Sean Clark was very good friends with him and broke the news of his passing months ago. He was apparently a super sweet guy off screen. Yeah, man, I remember when those news broke out, man. It was not a few months ago about Ted White, man. It was heartbreaking, man, especially because like I said, he's a lot of us favorite Jason, you know? So it definitely it does hurt in some type of way, you know, to see another legend, another icon, you know, to play such an iconic role, you know, and especially the better version of the iconic role. Like definitely, man. And I think there should have been more like celebration or not celebration, but or celebration of his life, man. You know, like a lot of icons, you know, in the horror who played horror characters, you know, should definitely be remembered, man, and never let their legacy fade away, man. Yeah, Slipknot Snap demo. Yeah, oh, okay, yeah. I figured Slipknot was on there. Yeah, they have one song, right? Yeah, I wasn't too sure, man. I will have to look on eBay. Like I said, I did buy the CD a few months ago on eBay, but I never received it, man, which freaking sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get it. Ted was a real pro, yeah, man. The Exorcist 2023 might be good. I don't know. I hope so. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I still hope it's a good way, a good refresh start, whatever you want to call it, to introduce the Exorcist series. But of course, there's nothing. There's not gonna be nothing that tops the original. You know, you could say it could possibly be a good modern version of the Exorcist, but we're gonna have to wait and see, man. You know, and me, since the news broke for the first time, I kind of didn't like the news since the beginning, man, because The Exorcist to me is one of my favorite horror films, so that's why I'm against it. But of course, man, we'll be giving it a shot. You know, we'll be giving it a chance. Richard Brooker played Jason in part 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Ted White was from part four, right? Yeah. Yeah, you could kind of see, since they're back to back. I know part three and part four had a different director, uh, and you could kind of get that mixed up a little bit since they're like kind of like really like they stick together so good. You could you would imagine, the same Jason. It's the same Jason in part three and part four, but I guess it's two different guys. Yeah, Ted passed a few months back. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Ted White. I have the Young Myers Clown Mask 2 from Spirit. It's a shame. Yeah, man. Yeah, true. I mean, I remember I owned a copy of the one I have, which is the same one. I believe they were selling it as Spirit. I don't know what happened to that one. I ended up rebuying it though for like $20 at a Halloween store, man. Like I don't know. I mean, I still got it obviously because it's Halloween. It's Michael Myers, from the Rob Zombie movie. So definitely as a collector piece, it's mandatory. But yeah, I really hope one day they come out with one that's more accurate to the movie. Thank you, man. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, it's all good. Definitely, appreciate all of you guys, messing around with me, messing with the channel. Appreciate it. I think James Wan would have been, yeah, slasher movies. I agree, yeah. And yeah, he would have been the perfect choice for an Exorcist sequel, or Exorcist remake, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man, I agree. Since I think James Wan is like the face of those kinds of movies, and especially, man, James Wan, he's probably my one in my top three modern horror directors, man, because he has a lot of great shit under his belt, man, and yeah, and I believe right now is it James Wan? Is he working on The Nun Part Two? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's doing it, but he just finished with Megan. That was James Wan, right? James Wan was Megan. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, James Wan, a lot of great shit. Saw a lot of underrated films like Dead Silence. I don't know if you guys seen Dead Silence. That's another. Dead Silence was not a big popular film like that at that time. I remember at the 2007 it was, or 2006, whatever year that was. I remember that year it was, man. But after that, you didn't really hear too much about Dead Silence. Pretty underrated film. Not the greatest film, but obviously it's not one of his greatest films. But I've always liked, and I'm telling you, man, since it came out back in like the mid 2000s, which was when I was still a kid, pretty much, man. I remember seeing that. It scared the shit out of me, especially that intro, man. That intro and that theme song. Yeah, man. Interesting. But yeah, man. James Wan is an OG, man. I love his work. Has huge shoes to fill. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I don't even think they'll probably even be. They probably won't even fill it halfway, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, man, for sure. The original, my favorite horror film, one of my favorite horror films of all time, because it's such a masterpiece, man. I remember as a kid thinking this movie's kind of boring, man. And I know the whole it's an older film, so it is, you can say, the pacing a little slow, um, but still, man, a lot of great shit that can be touched, man, and I don't think could be duplicated from that movie. Insidious and Conjuring are great films. Yeah, man, I love those films. I love Insidious, the first one at least. The Conjuring movies, I like them. Part three was probably the weakest one, but part two was my favorite. Part two was my favorite. And of course the first one was pretty good too. But yeah, I like those films, man. Those are the Conjuring films are definitely my favorite modern films. And you guys know me, I'm not the biggest fan of modern horror films, but definitely those are for sure the most popular, you could say, the most bigger ones, but also, the more better ones, you could say. Well, at least some, because I know they did the whole Nun spin-offs. They're doing the Nun Part 2 right now. They did the Annabelle spin-offs. which I consider those to be like, excuse me, like the knockoffs. I mean, not the the knockoffs, the spin-offs. I consider those like the weaker films, in the Conjuring universe. To me, the best ones from the Conjuring series was the first two Conjurings, and that's about it, man. I mean, the first Annabelle wasn't too bad, man. I think Creation was better though, the second Annabelle, but yeah, The Nun was disappointing, man. I remember. I think The Nun had a lot of good potential too, because or I think Nun was probably just a one-time deal. I think Nun could it worked really damn good in The Conjuring 2, man. That's what made that movie really great. The Conjuring 2, but I don't think The Nun was meant to have a spin-off, man, because why do they want to put more backstory on this creepy ass nun, that worked for a modern horror film, have we had something creepy like that in a modern movie in years, so I think they kind of messed it up. They saw, I mean, they saw the potential, they saw the success, the interest people had on the nun, so we're like, fuck it, let's do a solo film, a spin-off. But I don't know, man. I wasn't the biggest fan of the nun movie. I don't know. I don't think it worked, man. And then they're doing the Nun 2. They're doing the Nun 2 now, which is, it's a seminal classic. Yeah, man. The Exorcist is a classic. Always be a classic. I think David Gordon Green did a decent job with. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's true. And that's one thing you could tell of those films. Well, at least the first two. 2018 and Kills. Since David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, they're mostly like comedy guys. They do comedy films. You could kind of see that in there. Like I said, the first 2018 movie was pretty decent, man, but it was missing a lot, man. And yeah, to me, I still gotta stick with the 2018 movie, man. I think that was the best one out of that trilogy. Um, but yeah, man, I think suspense was missing. A lot of stuff was missing, man, and I think that was another missed opportunity. Yeah, man, that's something I've always wondered throughout the years, man. How come it never got a sequel? Yeah, simply for probably because of that reason. That's what happens, man. When you don't get sequels, they probably don't make enough money, or probably when they do, they just get canceled, But I mean, yeah, I've always wondered that one too, man. I've always wondered. I've always been interested on a sequel to Dead Silence, even though obviously it wouldn't be as good as the first one. I think if they were to make a sequel, they probably obviously would have made it more cheesier. But I mean, some things you just gotta leave alone. Conjuring 3 was way too over dramatic. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the previous two. Yeah, man. I saw what's it called? The Devil Made Me Do It. I saw it once, man, when I got it on Blu-ray. And I was really looking forward to the Conjuring 3. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it, man, when it came out. The Devil Made Me Do It, just the title itself, man. Um it had me interested. So yeah, it obviously wasn't as strong of a movie as the first two, but my hot dogs and fries are here, so it's dinner time. But hey, mad respect. Thank you, Brandon loves the movies. I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a good one. Have a great rest of your night. Make sure you enjoy that dinner, man. But yeah, glad you made it to the chat, man. I appreciate it. Hope to catch you on the next one. But yeah, man. Yeah, The Nun. Yeah, I didn't really care for it either. It was just too. Yeah, I don't think it was necessary, a solo movie. But yeah, and the thing about The Nun too is, like I said, I just think it was meant. I know it was kind of like a side character in The Conjuring 2, but still, man, I wish they should have just left it. They should have just left it there, And the Nun Part 2. I don't know. I don't know what to think. It might be bad. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I did hear James Wan did not do it, and yeah, that probably explains it because I believe he did do the first two. Yeah, he even did the second one, and he rarely does the sequel. You know, he didn't even do Saw 2. You know, did he do Saw 2? No, I don't think so. From what I remember, no. But yeah, that explains it. Oh yeah, I did hear that one too, man. They're working on a Conjuring 4. Um, I don't know what to think, man. I mean, I get it. The Conjuring movies are they're really successful, man. Like one way or another, like they're really like those make money in the box office, you know. But yeah. So I mean, it's cool enough. It's cool, you know. Uh, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the Warrens back. I hope so, you know. Yeah, I hope it's better than the third one. I think he was busy doing Aquaman. That's why he couldn't do three. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, yeah, he did do Aquaman. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. He was posting a lot of that on his Instagram. But yeah, man. Yeah, I hope if they do a Conjuring 4, they do a good job. And I think they were also gonna do like a spin-off to the one of the other characters from the Conjuring 2. What is it, the Crooked Man or something like that? I got no idea. But yeah, man. I just wanted to hop on here on Friday the 13th, man. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pop in probably the next Friday movie right now. But I'm gonna let you guys go here, man. I just want to shout all of you guys who made it tonight. Halloween Goblin, Slasher Movies 410. Shout out, man. Hope you guys have a great Friday the 13th. I'm glad you guys were able to spend some time with me, man, because you know, it's usually like, especially on days like this, you know, I go live here and there, but you know, especially days like, especially weekends like Friday, people are not people got stuff to do, you know. And I don't know, just a horror fan like me, man, is just in the man cave in the horror spot watching movies. But it's all good, man, you know, no problem at all. But yeah, man, just wanted to hop on here, man. Give you guys just what we watched Friday the 13th, the final chapter together. That's awesome, man. And that's probably, this is probably the longest live I've been on. Shit, we're like 2 hours now. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. Slasher movies, Machete Slasher, Skull Crusher, Halloween Goblin. Happy Halloween to all of you guys, man. You guys already know. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. More videos coming soon. I will be doing an update to the collection. And make sure you guys stay safe out there, man. So that's about it, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe. It's the Michael Myers signing out.